And as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, hey. It's a brand
Welcome back to Marbella Now. My name is Nicole King, and it's a pleasure to be back in the RTV Marbella studios welcoming more guests. And then later we're actually going to go out and about to get some virtual reality going on. But joining me now is, his name's Matt Doughty, and he's come to me through Jeremy Ferguson, who runs his amazing Biz Lunch Club, which we all like to go to because it isn't, is it? Hi Matt, first of all.
Hi there, Nicole.
I carry on talking myself around.
No, you carry on, it's your show.
Yes, it nearly was all my show. Yeah. But it's you've been to Jeremy's lunches.
Yes.
Have you managed to get to one yet?
Yeah, I've been to just the one lunch last year with Jeremy at Los Naranjos Golf Club.
Before lockdown.
Before lockdown. And I met Jeremy actually playing golf with another networking group that's golf related. And we had a whale of a time playing golf, and he invited me to the network and came along and ended up here. So it's been quite a good journey.
It's funny because really that's how Marbella works.
Yes.
It's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows you, and then the introductions you get. A lot of people, we were mentioning off air before, go crazy networking and they're giving their cards, but if you're just selling, no one's buying. It's more of a relationship, getting to know you, getting to know all about you,
yes, absolutely.
love you. But it's more a personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
to then get
absolutely.
the recommendations. And
yeah, I have to say I've never been a big fan of networking generally. I've always been a bit off-put by the sort of stand-up, 1-minute elevator pitch and all that sort of stuff. So to do something less formal, I've only lived in Marbella for sort of 3 years, or outside of Marbella. But already you can kind of get a feel for the very genuine people that want to help you with your business and give you referrals and put you in touch with other people that can help. And
how's your Spanish?
It could be an awful lot better. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we've become incredibly busy.
Under the collar
yeah,
there,
no, it's a bit tricky that. No, we've become very, very busy during lockdown, and we're getting calls from all over Spain, and obviously a lot of Spanish calls come into the website now, and it's quite tricky for me. But fortunately, we have got some partners that we work with that are great from the Spanish point of view. So.
Well, then let's explain what you do, because it is ideal for people who have been shut in their houses.
Yes.
And that is virtual golf.
Virtual golf, yes. So the business is designing and installing golf simulators. So a golf simulator is essentially what it says. It simulates the game of golf, and the idea being that you can be in a room. You can hit your golf ball into a screen rather than into the middle of nowhere, and it will simulate everything about what that golf ball
Must be
will do.
Special screens, one would think.
Quite a special screen. Yes. So
it goes through the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so a lot of professionals use golf simulators, and they hit the ball at 150, 160 miles an hour. So the screen can take a real beating at times, and the idea being that it takes the impact, and the image that's projected onto the screen then shows the rest of the flight of the ball and how it would react on the course and so on. So,
do you have putting options as well,
yes,
or is it all just whacking?
Absolutely, no, absolutely. You can putt, you can chip, you can do sand shots, and it simulates all of those sort of
What's
things.
What's the minimum space required for a setup? It sounds like you need
a bit of you need a little bit of space. So that we work with a technology called TrackMan, and the space requirements in an ideal world you'd like to have sort of 4.5 meters of width. 6 meters of length in the room and about 3 meters of height. But
perfect for a rich area like Marbella.
Well, absolutely.
You need
yes.
the space.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of installations in sort of basement conversions and spaces like that. So you need a fair amount of space.
Is it suitable for outside? I mean, we had an interview last week with Carlos Del Villar he does elasticated tents to give people more space that now are spending more time at home, and businesses.
Yeah.
Is this something that can be adapted, or does it need to be, the equipment needs to be well protected inside?
Well, the equipment itself, the TrackMan element, is very portable. I mean, the professionals use it on the range, and it's an indoor, or it's primarily developed as an outdoor product that's been adapted for indoor use. The rest of the things like the projector and the screen obviously need a little bit of protection, but more and more people have sort of open air cinemas which have a screen and a projector, and they do much the same thing. So we've done some dedicated buildings for people to install simulators in. and then off that they might put a yoga studio or an outside kitchen or something like that. So
does it come with virtual professionals to teach you as well?
Well, interestingly enough, TrackMan has developed an artificial intelligence product that is called Tracy. And basically what will happen is that you'll take 5 or 6 shots with a particular club, and Tracy will analyse essentially what your tendencies tend to be with your golf swing. So based on your swing speed, which is generally quite fixed, people can only really tend to hit the ball so hard or so fast, it will kind of give you the optimum results that you could expect to try and achieve, and then it will tell you about whether you need to adjust your swing path, be more out to in, or whether you need to adjust the angle that you attack the ball at with the club and so on to train. Obviously you need a professional or a coach to give you some kind of idea of how you achieve all of that, but for those people that have a good sort of understanding of their game and the numbers, they can obviously improve significantly.
Do you have standard packages? Is it a one-off option? Is it tailored to your needs? I mean,
Yes.
how does it work? Like, I want to play golf at home. Go.
Okay. Well, I mean, in terms of the way that we do it, there are quite a number of options. I mean, people's budgets are obviously very different, and people's the space they have available, and also what they want to achieve. So some people just want to play the virtual golf, and other people want to be able to really analyse their game in detail. So we can do quite sort of temporary setups that will start maybe at around sort of 7,000 or 8,000 euros, and then we can do fully integrated installations up to about 45,000 euros, which include cameras so that you can record your swing every time you hit a golf shot, and lots of other sort of features. So we have add-ons to that as well. So we have laser shooting that we can add on to the golf simulator setup. We can integrate cinema as well, so we can have surround sound. So, you know, there's the sky's the limit really as far as that's concerned.
Your face is smiling as
Yes,
well,
yeah, I mean,
adding up the invoice, all those
absolutely.
extras.
Yes, yeah, no, we can keep selling forever and a day really.
It sounds like it's also a great way of, obviously the financial investment is not cheap, but it sounds like a great way of opening up golf to a lot more people in a lot more countries, schools. I don't know, it just feels that it's opening it up and then having to go to a cause of those who haven't got those opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, there's a couple of things from the point of view of being able to provide golf for people. You know, you don't need acres and acres of land. You only need the space that we talked about in terms of setting up a simulator, and therefore you can give access to people, say, in a hotel environment or in a sports centre environment, access to, we now have 90 or so golf courses that they can play. So that's significant. In terms of sort of private use, you know, you can the whole family can play golf, and there's a lot of courses that have junior tees set up so that the kids can, you know, it's achievable for the kids to play, and there's some fun games that have been introduced as well, sort of target practice and other things like that have been introduced for, you know, for kids to get involved and make it a much more interactive and fun thing to do. So.
Is golf your passion in work and also out of work? I mean,
yes.
You met Jeremy on the golf course.
Yeah, I met Jeremy on the golf course. Yeah, I mean, if I can play golf once or twice a week, I really like to do that. I don't really get to play as much now as since we've become really busy with lockdown, but yeah,
funny how some people it's just a blessing and others it's a
yes.
nightmare. It's like, whoa, no one can go out.
It's an interesting, I mean, anybody's relationship with golf is quite interesting. They can love it and hate it, you know, in the same round of golf.
But did you play as a child? Where's the passion from?
No, I started playing golf probably just over 10 years ago now, back in the UK before we moved over here. And oddly enough, it was my wife that sort of suggested it because I hated networking. I was always working. And she said, well, you know, you need to come up with a hobby because at some point in the future you're going to want to do something other than work. And so golf was a good compromise, really, because a lot of business can be done on the golf course, and obviously this conversation is testament to that with Jeremy and so on.
But was it the same business, or have you switched to a golf business?
Switched to a golf business, yeah. So my background was originally in IT, and then I did a lot of sort of sales and marketing, did some property and sold men's designer clothes at one point, and lots of sort of different business interests, and came out to Spain and took a sort of year out as far as that was concerned. You know, we had a busy life back in the UK, so sort of 3 years ago just said, you know, we'll do nothing for a period of time, and during that time I sort of made a bit of a list of things that I actually liked and enjoyed, and things that I thought I was good at anyway. So the sort of sales, the IT, the sort of passion for golf and the interest in sort of technology and gadgets have always been things that I've kind of had. So I sort of smushed it all together and decided that simulators might be a way to go, and that's how we ended up with Black Box Golf. So.
Well, it's obviously a new business for you here.
Yeah.
It's a new life for you here.
Yes.
With added plus of lockdown, which is a very rarely I get to say that.
Yes.
The added bonus of people being shut down.
Yeah, there are not too many businesses. Well, I suppose there are lots of businesses that have done well in lockdown, and certainly wasn't something that we were anticipating. But as I said to my wife the other day, you know, we'll make hay while the sun shines. It's going to be very busy for us this year.
Is there a waiting list? Can you get this done quickly? I mean, how does it work when someone thinks, well, I'm a bit interested? So obviously we're going to go to the showroom and we're going to check it all out. But just like a quick idea, those who are listening, oh, I wouldn't mind a golf simulator.
Yes.
They'll be told, well, yeah, 6 months waiting list now. We're ever so busy.
Well, no, we're at we're about sort of 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, from somebody sort of saying yes, I want one, and us coming and obviously measuring up the room to then, you know, actually being able to get around to installing it. So.
Well, so it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
But get on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't hang around. Obviously, place your order, you know, as soon as you can.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's really nice to meet you, and it's really nice that to get the introduction, as you say, not through this aggressive networking, but from playing a game of golf, and then you go for lunch, and now you're on the television.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, isn't it? You've
Such a tough life. So you're not regretting, you and your wife, having made the change here?
Certainly not. No, we could never envisage going anywhere else other than living in Spain.
Those who are facing now the consequences of voting us out of the economic European community.
Yes.
Obviously, you are one of the ones that realise how lucky we were that you didn't have to come with any investment promise or plan. You could just come.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we were very fortunate in that sense because we did sort of dive in with both feet, as it were. We sold all of our property and our businesses and all of our furniture, for that matter, and moved to Spain and bought a house, which is quite unusual. A lot of people will sort of rent and get a feel for an area. We just sort of jumped straight in, really. So. And all the residency and everything else sort of came as sort of secondary to that. So we're quite fortunate that we did all that at the right sort of time, really, to avoid some of the complications. Although the whole Brexit thing obviously has caused us a few issues with the business, because we bring in quite a lot of stuff from the UK. So we've had a few delays on that. So that 3 to 4 weeks could be 5 to 6 weeks, depending on.
Well, then you'll definitely want to watch the show tomorrow, because I'm chatting with Carlos de Simon, and he works for a customs clearance company.
Oh, fantastic.
Who I've been talking about because of all the problems bringing things in from the UK.
Well, that would be wonderful.
So do tune in tomorrow, but don't go away. We're going now to some messages from our sponsors, from our Zero Hero partners, and then we're going off to the Black Box showrooms to see just how it's done. Back in a moment. Don't go away. Thank you so much, Matt. Really nice to meet you.
Yes, you too.
Sometimes it's nice to just get lost in the moment without a care in the world.
However, if something does come up and you find you're actually lost, it's also nice to know that you can call Linear Director to come and find you. Call Linear Director on 952 14 78 34 to see how they can better your life too.
When I'm the designated driver, I think it's only fair that I get to choose a Zero Hero venue that rewards me with free soft drinks. My friends all get to choose and booze, and they feel safe going home with me. Make sure that you get your reward for being the designated driver. Why pay if you don't have to?
Hi guys, Ross here from Hogan Stand. Proud to be a member of the Zero Hero campaign, and we recommend everybody. Nobody drives drinking. Everybody who drives a car doesn't have any alcohol in their system, and we're proud to sponsor the Zero Hero program.
Our welcome Zero Hero. How many visitors?
G-Wine is happy to be Zero Hero partner.
How cool is that? G-Wine.
Thank you.
That's
Glad
okay.
and I'm proud to present Zero the Hero. Never drink and drive.
Yes, I mean, do you think that
McNulty's is proud to be a Zero Hero partner.
Out of bounds, Zero Hero Partners.
Here we are, sticker going on. Delighted to welcome everybody and to be part of the Zero Hero campaign. Delighted.
Zero Hero, welcome here. At the Gaucho de Banús.
And welcome to Lemongrass, Doña Lola. Thank you very much.
Let the feeling into your soul. Let it set you on your way. No need to
Zero Hero, welcome to Portofino, Cabo Pino.
There'll be no trouble.
Hey, hey.
We are at we are at we are at Let the music get to your heart. Let it set you on your way.
So I'm in this little industrial estate. I think it's called La Quinta. And I've come here to Domosat because that is where they've got the golf simulation.
Just believe it's worth your time. We are at we are at we are at one. Let the feeling into your soul. Let it set you on your way. No need to hesitate. Time to make a change. There'll be no trouble tearing us apart. Brothers, sisters, one beat.
Oh my gosh, and here it is. Hello. Familiar face. We found you again.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm really good. Excited to be here. This is lovely. Wow, that's a big screen.
It is. Yes, yeah, it's 4.5 meters long.
Well, I've just walked through Domosat and they have some quite spectacular equipment, which is probably makes it very suitable, Matt, to have then your virtual golf installations up in this beautiful building. I mean, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's a fantastic setup for us. Maurizio, who's the owner of Domosat, I met with him last year and told him what I was trying to do, and he very kindly offered to work with us as they do their sort of installations and so on for us. They specialise in home automation and cinemas. And really, when people are sort of out looking for those kind of technologies, they've got the same sort of space that they would need for a golf simulator, same sort of things in terms of screen sizes and projectors and other
quality of audio and all those things.
Yeah, and all of those sort of other things. So it's a great sort of technology to kind of double up with. So if you've got the space for one, you can probably have the space for the other, as it were. So we've actually done a few installations where we've combined cinemas and golf simulators together. And they also specialise in gyms as well. So it's an all-round kind of showroom for all those kind of indoor activities that we all now enjoy.
You were saying just earlier in the show about how lucky you are, really, that you're recently arrived and you've fallen into everything. But even this collaboration seems to be just idyllic for you.
Yes, yeah, it's strange. You sort of put some of these things kind of out there and hope for the best. And we've been really fortunate from that point of view that we managed to kind of make the connections that we've made and the kind of clientele that frequent sort of places like Domosat for the sort of technology they've got. And yeah, it's been really great. He's got some great relationships with property developers and architects and interior designers, and all of that sort of stuff works brilliantly from our perspective. So
networking from the inside, and
absolutely, yes.
Yeah, and having fun doing it, which is the main factor. Obviously, a big interest in fun. I think golf is more than fun, isn't it? When you say going out to, it's more than fun and it's more than a sport, I would even say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, it's a kind of lifestyle, and you know, and it takes up kind of large part of people's time. So I suppose, you know, you have to kind of work that in, and you have to have an understanding spouse and or partner as well, if you're going to spend sort of half the day away playing golf. And that's where golf simulators are great, because obviously you can feed the craving to play golf, but you don't necessarily need 4.5 hours to do it. So
is it a good way to learn?
It's a fantastic way to learn. I mean, certainly in terms of the feedback and that you would get immediately from a golf simulator, being able to see the sort of shape of the shot that you've hit, being able to understand some of the numbers around you know, why you get the results that you get. Yeah, I mean, simulators are fantastic, and particularly because you can hit balls, you know, over and over again, and play any time that you want. So a big part of golf really is practice. I mean, you know, when you sort of look at professionals, they're hitting, you know, 1,000 balls a day, and normal people don't have the opportunity to play maybe more than one round a week. So being able to play of an evening or first thing in the morning before you go to work, or whenever you'd like to do it, you know, to get the practice in is really important for improving the game. For sure.
Okay, let's take a little look at the setup here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So so what we've got here is our TrackMan simulator showroom. So the TrackMan, which sits down here on the ground, is really all the sort of big technological advancement that we use. So this is a TrackMan.
This is the star.
Yeah, this is the
little
star.
box here.
Yeah. So this is the very latest TrackMan model. It's a TrackMan 4, and that does all the hard work really. That does everything in terms of picking up everything that the ball does from the moment that you hit it to you know, to the moment that it then hits the screen. It will give you all the kind of information that you need.
Can you give us a demonstration?
I can certainly try.
Can I stand here? Will I get my head knocked off? Where should I stand?
You're probably better off just standing over here.
Okay, let me move.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
As this is realistic, but there's a real golf ball
down
there.
You want to be
not that virtual.
It's a real golf ball and a real.
Does it stop the ball bouncing backwards again? Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's absolutely the idea. So we'll have a go here. Not the best of shots, but gives you an idea. So the system, the software that's used will actually replicate all the various different elements of the golf course that you would normally get in real life.
So now, how would the machine tell you that you could have done it better? How would that now diagnose your swing as such?
Well, in this particular scenario, we're on a virtual driving range. So what we're looking at here is a target that's about 150 yards away. It will give me the details of the swing that I've just made. So it gives club head speed, which is essentially how fast you're swinging the golf club. The smash factor is the conversion between your swing speed and how well the ball has travelled. So effectively 1.16 is not very good. You'd be looking more about 1.4 if you could possibly do it. The spin rate's at sort of 6,000, which is probably a little low, and I would expect to be able to hit the ball to the 150 marker, and we've only got 123 there, so it was not a very good example of a golf swing.
Not your best?
Not my best, no, it's definitely been better. But, yeah.
And that is the information obviously there that gives you all that insight to what could have made it better. So if you're playing, you can play like an actual 18 holes?
You certainly can, yes, yeah, you can play full golf courses, so I could show you that if you like.
And can you choose your golf course?
You can. So TrackMan has effectively about 100 golf courses that you can now choose from. So up here we have our touch screen, and if we go on to courses, we've had a couple of new courses added recently.
Teeth of the dog, interesting.
Yes, yeah, well, it sounds good. Yeah, so I mean, there's 100 courses here. You can go through and choose from any of these. So yeah, so all the well-known ones from the tour. So we could choose. Well, we might as well choose Teeth of the Dog. It sounds interesting, so we'll go with that. and away we go. So you can set up weather conditions, you can set up how many players, you can have up to 6 players playing.
So you could basically join in a tournament
Yes.
and play along yourself and see how you would do if you were part of it.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, I mean, Trackman are now working this year on putting various different tournaments together so you can play online with other players. Obviously, you don't have to play at the same time, the scores are recorded and then you try to compete to improve against that. There's countries all over Europe currently doing that. We're hoping to do something for Black Box customers in Spain if we can.
Oh, that's a nice added incentive.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're taking it somewhere. It's like it's becoming like an online gaming golf.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it'd be nice. What I'd like to think is that sort of as we go forward, the more installations that we do, we can actually create a bit of an online golf club, if you like. So Black Box Golf has a sort of exclusive membership for those people that have bought a simulator through us, and then they can compete in competitions each month.
All around the world?
All around the world, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's a fabulous idea.
Yes, yeah.
Fabulous idea. So the nice thing here I see also is you get like information on what's so special about the course.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the courses are meticulously sort of designed. I think each course takes about 3 months in the development. And they have also sort of detail on there. You get some fantastic graphics with the TrackMan sort of technology. And
we're now on the first tee.
And we're now on the first tee. Yeah.
Well, go for it, Matt.
Okay, we'll give it a go. So here we go.
Pretend I'm not here. Don't want to put you off your swing.
Well, it's always tricky when somebody's watching, isn't it? Oh, we're going to go straight in the bunker, aren't we? No, just missed.
So now obviously you're all set up for your next shot.
Yes, yeah. So we're now in the rough here on the left-hand side of the fairway. We have 189 yards left to get to the green, par 4. So it could be in better shape, but we can give that a go. I'll use the same glove anyway as well. See how we get on. Now we're definitely in the bunker.
Now you're going to have to change your club.
Now we're going to have to change the club for sure. Yeah.
I can see you're equally as frustrated as if you were actually playing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, you've actually like, oh my God, I'm in the bunker.
Being a golfer, you're always very critical of your own game, I think, and yes, it's quite difficult not to get frustrated. But the good thing is you can do that in the privacy of your own home now. So that's all.
And the nice thing is when you come to work, you can just hang around and play golf.
Yes, yeah. I mean that's the good thing. If I'm here, during the week and in between visits, it's good. I can practice on my own game. That's the other thing. There's no real excuse anymore for not being able to do well. So there we go. So you can see we're out of the bunker. And in a position to make a putt. So TrackMan will automatically finish the putting for you depending on what your handicap is. So you can generate a handicap for TrackMan and it will make a judgment as to how well you can putt. But you can also set it up so you can make your own putts as well.
That's very cool, particularly when you start playing virtually online with everybody.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And having, your online virtual handicaps.
Virtual handicap, for sure. Yeah.
And it's really good. What's the way it stops the ball? Because that really is a big factor that you're whacking that thing.
Yes.
But it then just drops down.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's one of the things that we work quite hard on in terms of the impact screens. So the screen obviously has to do a number of things. It has to take the impact of the ball, which could be sort of 150 miles an hour maybe. It also has to be as sort of quiet as possible because it's good to not obviously have a loud noise every time it hits. But the important thing as well is that you get a good sort of image quality. So we work quite hard to try and make sure that we achieve that. But yeah, essentially it's a sort of technical textile fabric that is just designed to absorb the impact of the golf ball.
Funny because when you talk about virtual golf, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration. When Obviously, there's a price for it, but there are a lot of pricey things.
There are quite a few pricey things, yeah. I mean, golf generally is not exactly a cheap sport to play. There are other, sort of technologies available, but I think it's important that if you want to get realism and you want to make sure that the game accurately reflects what you do, that it's worth the time and investment.
If you want to suffer that same frustration as Matt just did when you don't hit that perfect shot, obviously the experience is very realistic.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
If I recall. Bend my knees. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I've got things to do. We'll be back again tomorrow. Hasta mañana. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other. Let's start playing golf.
We can change if we try.